Hello and welcome into the Red Sox Roundtable. I am your host tonight, Nick Qualia, alongside Alex Barth and Adam Ballou. What's going on, guys?
Oh, what a night to talk sports.
Oh, yes. I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight. Jeez, nothing on the table.
There's nothing going on that pisses me off.
No.
It's really, really unbelievable. So later in the afternoon today, news broke from the New York Times that the Red Sox were caught stealing catchers' hand signals using electronic devices. Brian Cashman 2 weeks ago filed a detailed complaint with the league with video evidence that the Yankees shot of the Red Sox dugout of the Red Sox stealing hand signals where their trainers were using Apple Watches. So really taking advantage of that 21st century technology. So part of the New York Times article says the Yankees, who had long been suspicious of the Red Sox stealing catcher signs in Fenway Park, contended the video showed a member of the Red Sox training staff looking at his Apple Watch in the dugout and then relaying a message to the players, who may have then been able to use the information to know the type of pitch that was going to be thrown, according to the people familiar with the case. Baseball investigators corroborated with the Yankees' claims based on video the commissioner's office uses for instant replay and broadcast, the people said. The commissioner's office then confronted the Red Sox, who admitted that their trainers had received signals from video replay personnel, and then relayed the information to some players, an operation that has been in place for at least several weeks. The Red Sox responded in kind on Tuesday, filing a complaint against the Yankees, claiming that the team uses a camera from its television network, yes, exclusively to steal signs during games. So far, Commissioner Rob Manfred has not came out with any penalties or fines for the mishandling of electronic devices in the dugout, I guess you could say. Stealing signs is believed to be the most effective when there is a runner on second base who can watch what hand signals the catcher is using to communicate with the pitcher and then relay to the batter any clues about what type of pitch may be coming. Such tactics are allowed as long as teams do not use methods beyond their eyes. Binoculars and electronic devices are prohibited to communicate about signs. With that approach, the information has to be rushed to the dugout on foot. This is if you are not using any electronic devices. With that approach, the information has to be rushed on foot to the dugout so it can be passed on to the runner at second base. The Red Sox seem to shorten the communication chain and more quickly get the information to their batters by sending information electronically to people in the dugout. So, obviously, a big, big problem. Not only did the Red Sox get caught stealing signs, which happens all the time in baseball, they got caught stealing signs in a very illegal way in the eyes of the MLB. Now, some statistics that go along with this, again, this is 2 weeks ago against the Yankees at Fenway Park. In the first game of the series, this is still from the New York Times article, in the first game of the series in question, the first time the Red Sox got a runner on second was Xander Bogaerts in the second inning. Rafael Devers promptly hit a home run, giving the Red Sox a 2-0 lead. The Red Sox went 5 for 8 in the first game when they had a man on second. Their success when they had a runner on second in the other two games was mixed, 1 for 6 in the second game and 3 for 10 in the third game. So altogether, I believe that is 375 for the series. Now, guys, my main question is, are we kind of just blowing this out of proportion right now, or do you really think that this should be handled with a big hammer, so to speak, from the MLB? Adam, what do you think about this?
I think it's just I can't believe that we're that they did something like this. Like, what are they doing? Like, it's like they don't have enough drama on this team as is. So, like, they just got done with the whole Eckersley price thing. Nobody's talking about it anymore. They started playing really well, and now this garbage comes out. Like, are you kidding me? Yes, they should. We should be talking about this, and they should get penalized just for being stupid. Like, who does this? This is stupid. I know. I get everybody steals signs, but like, why? Why are we why? Why are we doing this? It clearly didn't work because we can't hit for garbage anyway. Doesn't matter if we have the signs or not. Like, it is a big deal because we're being stupid about this. Like, this is what we're going to talk about for the next 2 months, whether they win or lose. Every time they win, it's going to be like, well, they scored 3 runs. They must be checking their phones in the dugout. Like, is this what we really need to talk about? Like, we spent a friggin' month talking about a plane, what was said on a plane, and now we're gonna spend another month talking about some stupid BS on a phone, on your Apple Watch. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, let's make a big deal out of this. This is stupid. Go ahead, Alex.
Look,
Alex, what are your opening thoughts?
It's the Red Sox own fault. It's a big deal. Should they be punished for stealing signs? No. If you listen to Rob Manfred today, there technically is no rule in the MLB against stealing signs. It's part of the game. Everybody does it. There's a rule against having the kind of technology like an Apple Watch in the dugout. And again, something that everybody does, let's put the outrage where the outrage belongs. I don't think anybody is mad that the Red Sox were stealing signs or any more mad as opposed to whenever else it happens in baseball. And I think that's what I got from you, Adam. I don't care they were stealing signs. Good. I hope they would. If they weren't, they'd be stupid to. They'd be behind the curve.
It's not working, though.
But to get caught stealing signs in Major League Baseball, a practice that's been going on for, 40 years or more? And to get caught for it is such a disgraceful look. Nobody comes out a winner in this. The Yankees look bad for coming at the Red Sox for this because the Yankees were stealing signs too with the Yes camera. Red Sox went back at them. What stops all 30 teams from going at each other for stealing signs now? The Yankees look bad in this because they've opened a hell of a Pandora's box. The Red Sox look bad because they're morons. The MLB looks bad because the officials can't catch on to this because they can't catch on to anything, as we've seen for the last couple weeks. The only two winners in this are Apple, because this is great product awareness that there's actually a use for an Apple frickin' watch.
Huge product awareness.
And Rob Manfred, who handled his press conference today beautifully. He owned up to it. He didn't try to blow it out of proportion, but he was realistic. He didn't try to sweep it under the rug either. And he was honest, and he said there's going to be a quick ending. We want this out of the way. Who does that sound not like? Roger Goodell. Ezekiel Elliott just got his 6-game suspension because it was another sweep under the rug, then blow it up case from the jury, judge, and executioner, King Roger himself. So I thought Rob Manfred handled it beautifully. He did the absolute anti-Roger Goodell. Everybody else in this. The New York Times is a loser because that article was an unnecessary hit piece against the New England Patriots. The reporter that inevitably asked Bill Belichick tomorrow what he thinks about this is a loser. He should have his press credentials revoked forever.
He's not getting an answer anyway.
Come on. Everybody. The Red Sox are the biggest losers because they're idiots. They're freaking idiots to get caught for stealing signs. But everybody comes out a loser in this. There was no reason this should have been brought to the forefront. You're right,
Except
Adam.
for Apple.
I'll tell you this right now. Except for Apple, you're right. And I'll tell you, I said this with you, Nick. God, it must have been back in June. That this team was setting up for a 2011 chicken and beer type collapse. I will tell you tonight, September 5th, this Red Sox team is not making the playoffs because
they're worse than this is worse.
This is worse. You're right.
This is worse than the chicken and beer because this is stupid.
Well, chicken and beer was pretty dumb too, but this team's not going to make the playoffs. And people are going to go back and point at this as why, and we are going to hear about this. Like you said, Adam, it sucks. Every Red Sox game, not just this year, for the next 5 years, this is all we're going to hear about. Spygate turns 10 on Saturday, and we're still hearing about that garbage. This is never going to go away, and stealing signs is now going to be an issue in the MLB for years and years to come. Because whenever a team feels offended, they can just go after somebody else and say they were stealing our signs because the other team was, because they're intelligent, because there's no rule against it. But they'll find some loophole to include them. This is going to make as bad as baseball is right now. And I saw a tweet today that the closest they've come to marketing to millennials is stealing signs with an Apple Watch. As bad as baseball is now, if this trend catches on of these nitpicky rule accusations, it's going to become unwatchable and unfollowable.
The Red Sox are unwatchable right now anyway because they stink.
Now, hold on. Those opening fiery thoughts were brought to you, and this whole roundtable is brought to you by FanDuel. Attention fantasy football fans, the wait is nearly over because football is back, baby, this Thursday, which in turn means FanDuel is back. FanDuel is huge for the fantasy football everyday fans with new contests every single week, which means no busted seasons. You drafted Julian Edelman. He tears his ACL. It doesn't even matter for the next week. It's simple, and there is something for everyone with a ton of contests to choose from, starting at just $1. Just pick a contest, choose your team, and watch your score skyrocket in real time. Over 2.5 million players have won a cash prize playing fantasy sports on FanDuel. Sign up today by going to FanDuel.com. Click the Join Now button and use my code RedSoxBeat, all one word. If you use that code, you get to try FanDuel for free. That's right, I mean for nothing. Nada. With absolutely no deposit required. Visit FanDuel.com to claim your free contest and play for a share of $10,000. Just sign up using promo code RedSoxBeat. That's FanDuel.com. Using promo code RedSoxBeat. Void where prohibited. And that's how I can interrupt you psychopaths, you animals, because I need to get a damn word in here.
You not pissed off?
Now,
are you not pissed off?
Am I pissed off? Yes, of course I'm pissed off. This is the most ridiculous. The most ridiculous part to me is that this is going to be a much bigger story, just like Deflategate was, because everything goes back to Deflategate. This is going to be a much bigger story than need be. Of course, everybody steals signs. We know that. But that kind of leads me to what the penalties are going to be for the MLB. The MLB is going to have to come down on them. Why are they going to have to come down on them? Because if they don't, what's the reasoning going to be? Well, everybody does it. No. They broke the rules by using electronics and binoculars.
Let's
and now hold on. You said
electronics, not for stealing signs.
You are not allowed. This is where I don't think that you're right. You're not allowed to steal signs if you use binoculars or electronic devices to steal those signs. You can steal signs, but it has to be the natural way without binoculars or electronic devices.
You're not allowed to use those. I think we're both saying the same thing in different ways. You're not allowed to use those two items either way. I'm pulling up the exact quote here from Rob Manfred earlier in his press conference, and it's escaping me on ESPN.com right now, but I know he said there is no rule against stealing signs. There is a rule against. Here it is. He said, quote, "We actually do not have a rule against sign stealing. It has been a part of the game for a very, very long time.
As it should be. To the
extent there was a violation of the rule here, it was a violation by one or the other that involved the use of electronic equipment." So that's at least part of the quote.
Okay, but even going back to that, they're going to have to punish them. Because if they do not punish the Red Sox, what is their excuse going to be? You don't have one. They broke the rules. The Red Sox are going to get fined with this. And this kind of goes back, it ties in with the Cardinals a couple years ago hacking into the Astros system. Now, I looked up the punishments that the Cardinals ended up getting. They got a $2 million fine, and they had draft picks revoked, and those draft picks actually ended up going to the Astros. Now, I don't think the same severity is going to come down to the Red Sox, but there's going to be some sort of a punishment. Whether or not is, I heard this on CSN tonight, the Red Sox have been so adamant about not going over the luxury tax, whether or not the fine that they get may actually go towards the luxury tax, because that would hit them where it hurts. But even when it comes to the issue in general, it's not as big of an issue as we're going to make it out to be. And you know it's just going to turn into this massive story that's going to be all over SportsCenter tomorrow. But I do have a question for you guys. John Farrell says, the story says that John Farrell or Dave Dombrowski did not know that this was going on.
No, please.
Do you guys believe that?
If you believe that, I have a bridge to
I don't know how to
you.
say. I don't know how to say my feelings on that without cursing. So
I don't want to use the button
I got you here. John Farrell said when he was asked about it, point blank, "Yes, we were cheating, but I didn't know about it." So you have to ask the players. In that, he both admits and denies to cheating, and then throws the players under the bus. The same players who don't like him. How does this man have a job? Who does he think he is?
How is he not seeing this? What is he doing?
Why this won't blow up. Here's why this is going to be different than Deflategate. In Deflategate, look, the Patriots, who did not cheat, Chris Mortensen was wrong. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but the Patriots who were innocent and victims of a frame job, when the league went after them, the fans were on the Patriots' side. The Patriots had a history of success, good fortune with the fans. Those are two things the Red Sox do not have. Red Sox fans will not rally. You're not going to see Dave Portnoy out there with free Farrell shirts. Red Sox fans will not rally behind the team like Patriots fans did. I want John Farrell suspended. I'm totally on Rob Manfred's side on
He
this.
should be fired already anyway, so, I mean...
Yeah, and this is every excuse they need to fire him, but apparently Dave Dombrowski was in on this. Who knows how high up the chain it goes.
No, he didn't know what was going on either. Don't you know? Nobody knew it was going on. Who... If they didn't know it was going on, who ordered this? What would somebody? So did they have like a ball boy?
Dustin Pedroia.
Dustin Pedroia didn't order this.
Brock Holt's hitting 180. Dustin Pedroia has fallen well out of favor with
Chris
the Red
Young
Sox.
was in this. He sucks.
No Red Sox fan cares about Chris Young. Red Sox fans hate John Farrell, and they're not that high on Dave Dombrowski either. You're not going to get the same rally job behind the Red Sox you got behind the Patriots, and that's why this story is going to be different. You're just not going to have that same response from the fan base, and that's what fueled Deflategate, and then that's what's fueling the Ezekiel Elliott thing. It's weird to see the MLB in the spot, though, for me. But it's not – it might get as much attention, but it's not going to hit that same contentious level because I think everybody knows what's going on.
Now, here's my thing about the John Farrell situation, though. John Farrell says that he didn't know about it. That is such a worse look than if he did know about it. Because not only do you not know what's going on the field, you also don't know what's going on behind the closed doors in the Red Sox clubhouse.
We all knew he was clueless.
Exactly.
If he watch one game and know that he's clueless,
him not knowing is probably a worse look for him than him being.
It's not.
That's what I'm saying.
Worse look, we already know he sucks. Like, this doesn't surprise me that he's going to come out and say.
This is saying the guy standing. It sounds like hyperbole to say the guy standing next to him in the dugout is cheating and he doesn't notice. That's like, did you see the thing about Delta today? Jacking the ticket prices coming out of Florida up to $5,000 from $500. That sounds like the hyperbole I would use to talk about how much of a joke Delta customer service is. But it's real. It would be a joke I would make to say John Farrell is this oblivious. He doesn't know the guy standing next to him is cheating. But it turns out it's reality.
He doesn't know when the pitcher is pitching well. We had this crap last year. David Price pitched really well when he gave up 7 runs. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. How does this guy still have a job? Like, I would love being terrible at my job and them giving me a contract every year. Like, are you kidding? Like, how does this guy still have a job? Of course he doesn't know. What is he? He's probably like staring into the crowd, trying to find another redhead to sleep with.
And look, Jim Leland's just sitting at home smoking 12 packs of cigarettes a day, waiting for the phone to ring. I'd rather have Jim Leland at this point.
Your manager the manager that should have been in Boston is in Arizona right now.
Not only in Arizona, he's in Arizona with a legitimate
with a wild card.
Take his team not just the wild, but he has the second best team in the National League.
Yeah, he's going to win Manager of the Year.
Up against one of the best wagons of all time. Not just your manager, your should-be GM is out there too.
Guys, listen, regardless of how we feel about John Farrell, it is way too late in the season to consider firing him.
No, it's not.
No,
it's absolutely
It's
not.
September 5th. You're in first place in the American League East.
Are you going to change 4 games in a row?
You're going to change the guy at the top of this clubhouse now? September 5th? Less than a month ago in the regular season?
3 months ago. I would have done it 2 years ago.
You can't. No, you do not have to do it now. Dave Dombrowski is going to stand at this guy's back, and he's going to protect him for this.
He's probably going to give him a contract extension, knowing Dave Dombrowski.
You cannot fire this man right now. A shakeup like that is going to kill this team worse than it already is.
You don't think this is going to be a cloud that – we know how mentally fragile this team is. You don't think this is going to be a cloud that hangs over them for the rest of the season, something they're going to have to play through?
It is.
John Farrell's going to take most of the heat for this. Let him do that outside of the organization. Frankly, if you fire John Farrell, you probably turn the story into something bigger than it is, but you make the story about John Farrell and not about the Boston Red Sox.
A team that already can't handle distraction as is, then you're going to fire the manager. You're going to be the number one story. You're going to be the
like Jim Leland and not a babysitter like Bobby Valentine.
But this isn't the time to. You can't. You don't light a fire under your ass in September. You light a fire under your ass in June or late May or early July when you need to start.
Have you watched the team the last four games? They need a fire lit under their ass.
Well, at this point, it's hopeless.
In 2007 down the stretch when they had a massive shakeup to the lineup. It's not as extreme, but you can absolutely make those changes this late in the season.
There's a difference between your manager and a shakeup in the lineup.
No, it was a major. I believe they were moving. I don't know the exact thing, but it was not just moving somebody down one spot. It was a major change.
But it wasn't firing Terry.
Well, that's ultimately all it is. Changing the manager. It's a lineup change. Look, we know they don't respect John Farrell. The players would like it if he was gone from everything we hear.
And you're going to bring in a guy who's unfamiliar with the team now?
What's to be for? Coaching matters less in baseball than it does in any other sport. And John
wrong, NBA.
Oh, I'll give you that one. But managers do not affect games that much in baseball. I don't care about familiarity in the team. No one to take pitchers out of the game. That's all you need to do. The lineup's more or less set at this point. All we need is somebody
doesn't know when to take a pitchers out anyways.
But you need to be familiar with the team.
Stop putting Brock Holt in the lineup and figure out when to go to the bullpen.
And play Mitch Moreland.
But see, this guy doesn't understand. Whoever the new guy would be to come in, he doesn't understand who hits better, lefties versus righties, aside than from just looking at the numbers.
Yes, you do. You can just look. Yeah, you can just look that up.
Besides the numbers, that's looking at a binder.
What do you have a bench coach for?
So you're just gonna bring the bench coach and make him the head of the team?
No, I'm saying, if you need to ask somebody a question about, oh, does this guy bat better left and right, and you don't want to look at the stats, you ask somebody else on the team. You ask a bench coach. You ask the people that have been with the team all season long.
A new manager in
I don't care. It's not that hard.
The manager in September is going to be asking the bench coach what to do. Then you might as well just have the bench coach be the manager.
You're not bringing a first-time manager. You're going to get somebody with experience.
Like who? Other than Jim Leland. Nobody knows if Jim Leland wants to come back to the majors.
From the reports I've seen, he's still in touch with Dave Dombrowski.
In touch about the game, or are they just chatting? Or are they buddies?
Dave Dombrowski doesn't seem like the kind of guy who just calls you to see how your day went. And neither does Jim Leland.
I think he's a very nice guy. I think you're wrong.
Oh, no, you can be a nice guy and still be all business. No, if you remove John Farrell, you remove the issue.
All right. We're going to have to stop that for right now. This is a really long roundtable with a ton of hot takes, again brought to you by FanDuel. Make sure to check back in for part 2 on Thursday, September 7th, where Alex, Nick, and Adam all finish up their debate. Again, that is Thursday, September 7th. Make sure to come back to clnsradio.com, CLNS Media, to hear part 2.